Hi everyone, Yiseia here. This is the tutorial for the River Pagoda base. So if you've seen the tutorial in regards to the guidelines and how to find the center, this is where it's going to connect from. So let me just go downstairs to show you where you will set or place the first tile of the base. So, if you placed your guideline along here, you found the center of your guideline and you checked that it lined up with the center of the opposite guideline, then you should have the center right here. And these three tiles, these three triangular tiles, and it's important that it's triangular ones, are the first ones you will place. Now, depending on whether you had a two tile or just a single tile center, you might have to start out a little differently and might use a little crutch to get those three tiles properly centered. So let me show you what I mean. So let's say you had a single tile as center of your guide. Then in order to get two triangular ones, so just to show you, if I was to place just a single triangular one, then it wouldn't work. It would give you the wrong starting point. So what you gotta do is place three triangle ones and then place another set of three, so make a circle pretty much. And then these three here are going to be the ones that are the first line, the first row of tiles on your base, and you just have to extend it to 5 in total. And then the next row is going to be squares. I'll show you on the actual base. If, however, you had two center tiles on your baseline, on your guideline, then it's quite straightforward. You just need to place three of the triangular ones to have the correct layout. It's very important that you do it this way, because otherwise everything else will not line up. If you start out with a square tile, for example, then you will not have the right layout in order to get these connections the way that I have them. There's certainly a different way to do it, but it wouldn't work with the rest that I'm going to explain. So here we are again. Pretend that these three are your guideline, and this is the first row. And the first row is a set of 5 triangles, and then 3 squares, and again 5 triangles, 3 squares, and so on. And once you've completed the circle, you alternate. So instead of going with triangles, you now add squares. So you always have one, if you have one row of triangles, the next row will be squares, and if you have squares, then it's triangles again, and so on and so on. And you continue that until you reach the center, which is only triangles. Now, in order to get the basement big enough to have space for a vault, you need 3 rows on the outside, and then 1 row I like to mark as the last row of foundation tiles before I go over to your ceiling tiles. Let me show you underneath here. So the vault needs a depth of 3 foundation tiles, and so as you can see here, so you got the floor in, and then you need 3 foundation tiles on top in order to get the ceiling on. And you need this width of the area of the base in order to fit the vault. So if you have a circular base like this, then you need, pardon me, you need from the center 2 additional rows to fit the vault in. If you don't want a vault, or if it's not deep enough for you to build a vault, then you can use the basement also for a different thing. You just raise the floor in the basement. Let me show you. I have it over here. I was lucky to be able to put 2 vaults in. In previous builds I only had been able to put 1 in. But yeah, so if you don't have enough space for a vault, then raise the ceiling, raise the floor just enough so you only have 1 ceiling difference, so you can walk on the floor without needing to swim. And then you can put walls in and kind of make little alcoves like I have done. I'll explain it later, probably in the second part in more detail. Pardon me. Still struggling a bit with the aftershocks of the flu that I had, so pardon me if I need to cough. So back to the main platform. So from the center total, we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows. 6 rows of tiles, and then you have the platform the right size to get all the floors in that I have. Now, in order to hold the ceiling up, I use pillars, as you can see. I turned off the building stability loss, so I don't necessarily need as many pillars as I have here. It's more for looks, and also just because initially when I built this, I built it with the stability loss on, just on standard, and this was the amount of pillars that I needed. I think I needed a few on the center as well, just to keep it up, especially on the higher tiers. But if you play without stability loss, then this is how to do it. Otherwise you'll have to figure out which amount of pillars you need for your server settings. Now, when it comes to the ceiling, it is, except for the kitchens, it's always 1 row less than the floor. So, what did I say? 6 or 7 here? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 6. 6 rows on the ground floor, so it should be only 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the center. So always 1 less, because on the outside I placed the roof tiles just so it lines up with the floor below. And in this case, this is how I like it. I like to have these weak gaps. It opens the place up a little bit more. It makes it less confined in a way, like this is. I've only done this because on the other side I had yet again a glitch where I couldn't place a tile without support structure, and so just to match it, I made it like this. This is my preferred setup, because I don't like having these, well, it's not pillars, I forgot what they're called. Arches, maybe. I don't like having them there, but yeah, for the time being, it works. Now, if this is where you start out with your base, then the first stairs to the next floor are on the second row, on the first set of 2 square tiles to the right. And then I did it to mirror the other side. I did it on the opposite as well. So this is where you then eventually look out to the altars and to the other 2 platforms. And so again, from the edge of your platform, it's 1, 2 rows, and the third row is where you go up where the two square tiles are, the first two square tiles to the right. And here again, you have 1, 2 rows, third row is the one, 2 square tiles, and it goes up. And that's pretty much it for the ground floor. Let me show you just the basement again. So this is where I was lucky that I managed to fit the vault in. Previously I was not able to, I just had a minute little difference here, I think, in placement, just placed it a little further out. But either way, so this is the vault, and I then decided, unlike before, I usually would have foundation tiles all around. I wouldn't have this opening here if I have a vault in, but I thought it would be nice to be able to access the vault also from down here. So I just place a little opening, however you want to do it. It's your choice, of course. And then I placed these stable walls around because I thought it's gives a little bit of support if you have issues with ceiling tiles not wanting to be placed. If you have the glitch issue, that helps. And also because I quite like it. I like the fact that it's a wall, but it's not closed up properly. You know, it's airy. So it's kind of nice. And I spaced out these openings in a regular pattern to make it look nice, and then I just added stairs to go down. If you have issues with the stairs, some tiles don't want to be placed, what you can do is use a foundation tile, a fence foundation tile, and they tend to connect. I can't place it now because it's already connected to the stairs are already connected to each other, but the fence foundation tiles help. If you can't place the fence foundation, what you can do is just place square ones. It's important that you use square ones. Place square ceiling tile, floor tile, foundation tiles, like so, and then you can place the foundation wall there, right on the wall of the. Let me show you. Like this, make sure it's the right height, and then you can place the the stair tile, and then you can take out the regular foundation tiles and just leave the fence foundation. That is enough to hold it up if it's a glitch, and it's small, so it's not as visible from above. That's how I like doing it. So, the other thing about the placement of the hatches, of course it's up to you however you want to place them. I like to place them in places where I know it's not going to be in the way of any crafting stations. So the first one, because it's convenient, nothing is going to be placed here. That's why I placed the one to just access the general underwater area here. So it's straight opposite of where you start your base. It's the first row, and then in the second row, right in between the pillars, I placed the hatch. Word on the pillars as well. The first row of pillars is on the second row of pardon me, the second row of floor tiles, or well, ceiling tiles, whatever. And I place them always on the squares and always on the outer two squares, so one left, one right. And then the inner one I placed on the last row of foundation tiles, and always in the center triangle one of the set of 3 triangles. So that's that. Let's see, anything else? I don't think so. So let's have a look. I'll explain how to connect everything in the second part. So let me go upstairs. So again, the stairs is to the right from either the starting point or the opposite of the starting point. To the right, first 2 square tiles, and then it's always 2 set of stairs. So when you come up here, you have a set of 5 triangle tiles. Actually, earlier, I can't count. It's not 5, it's 7. My bad. So when you start off making your base, it's 7 triangles. 7 triangles, 3 squares, and so on. Either way, so when you come up, the floor is, because of lining up the roof tiles with the floor on the next floor is 1 row short. So it's only 5 rows and then the center. And the pillars, again, exact same placement as before. This time only 1 row, because I thought putting another row, I mean, first of all, it wouldn't fit because it would hit the roof tiles. That wouldn't work. But also, if I would place another row, I thought it would look too confined, too convoluted. And since I play with stability loss off, it's really just a matter of having something physical to attach the ceiling tiles to. That's why I have the pillars in. And since it's a circle, I just stuck with it. So, from to get the position of the next stairs, from the stairs from the ground floor, you have 5 triangles and then 2 squares, and then 1 row in, it's another set of 2 squares, and that's where you build it. Or if you place your pillars the exact same way as on the ground floor, then when you come up, it's the first pillar, behind the first pillar, the set of squares is where you place the stairs. Squares, stairs. And this time it's only 1 set, no symmetry here. Roof tiles is again the exact same thing. I like the floatsome roof tiles because they are curved slightly, which helps with the look for the very upstairs. And they can be inverted. I've not seen another tile set that has the ability to do that. That looks nice. Yeah, that's the main reason that I went with floatsome. So on this one also, as you can see, the ceiling here is completely closed up. If you come up, the next floor has an opening because it looks really nice when you put a light there and it's dark. Then you have a little bit of light here. It's not enough to light up this platform, but it's just a nice little touch, and it opens it up as well and makes it feel less enclosed. It's just really the very center that I left out. So just these tiles that I didn't place. Other than that, it's the exact same as below, except for that there's only 1 set of stairs this time, and that the ceiling is open. Now when you come up here, there's the library area, or what I like to turn into a library. That would usually be the Namibian bookshelves all along the walls, 2 stories high. And in order to place this, you go 3 triangles. So from the stairs coming up, you have 3 triangles, 1 square, and then you place the stairs. And also from the triangles, the second triangle from coming up from the stairs is where you place the door, the way I place it at least. And I did the exact same opposite, just mirror it. So you see how I have the stairs going down here, and the stairs going up here are the exact same kind of position, just mirrored again. And so is the door. So again, you have the 3 triangles, you have the stairs to the right and the door to the left, and the same thing here. If you look at it, stairs to the right only going downstairs, and door to the left. And on this one you have the stairs up, and then a set of 3 triangles, and then the next set of stairs to go to the kitchens. That one I left open just because I felt it looks nicer, and again, more spacious and more airy. This thing I enclosed. You don't have to do it, you can leave it open if you like, but I like to put the loo here and the washing basin just for fun. And then I have this little bit just for symmetry purposes. If you look at it, just so it's even, so you have 2 set of stairs, and yeah. And it's nice also, it looks nice on the outside. Also, this time here I used the arena tiles, because I thought it looked cool, especially with the stable walls. So it looks as if the sand has been blown in whenever there's a sandstorm. So yeah, I thought it looked nice. Here the pillars are slightly different this time, and again they're just for looks really, because it looks nice from the outside when you look at it. Just cosmetic. I placed the pillars where the triangles are and always on the outer triangles. So if you can see that, and then I used the Lost Dungeon gargoyles and placed them in between the wall tiles, because I thought they looked quite nice all around, always in between. So let me see, anything else that I should mention? The ceiling here is the same as the floor, so you do not lose 1 row when you go into the kitchens. So when you come up here, you have 2 rows on the outside, which I used the Namibian, however, tile set for, to kind of separate it from the actual kitchens. And in the kitchens, you have again 2 rows of different tiles. It's the Aguasian tile set. Actually, let me see, it's DLC stuff, additional DLC stuff. I mean, the Aguasian is DLC already, but these are the Agustian Observatory mosaic ceilings. And then I used the arena tiles again for the very center, because in the very center I usually place the roasting spit, or if you don't have the DLC to place the roasting spit, you can place anything else regards cooking that's an open fire, so that would work. Might look actually really cool for the bar upstairs if you place a thrall here, so it's always on. But yeah, I use the roasting spit here. Where is it? Oh, I think you have to craft it on the bench. And kinda cordon it off just with these little tiles. I forgot what they're called. It's these. The arcane sandstone wardroom. Just so it looks like a little fireplace, really. Now, when you come up from the stairs here, just to go back to the layout, in order to get the inner layout sorted out, when you come up you have 1 square tile, and then you have the first small gateway, and then you come in, and then to the left, you see how you have 3 tiles of triangles here? To the left you have 2 walls, 1 small gateway that also is where you place the stairs to the bar. And then another set of 2 walls, then a large gateway, 1 singular wall, large gateway, singular wall, large gateway, singular wall, large gateway, singular wall, small gateway. So it's not perfect in terms of symmetry, but given the restrictions, it's the best I could come up with. Maybe you can come up with something better even. But this is the best I could do without losing too much space because of stairs, or because of openings, so I could still place enough stuff. What I love to use also is the balconies. That's the rough timber balconies, because they are just big enough to actually place the small chests there. Let me see what they're called. It's these ones. Zingarian mercenary storage chests. They're just big enough to fit on there. And in order to place anything up there, use something as scaffolding. Either use a wall and a ceiling tile, or what I like to do, if it's not too high up like this, would be perfect. Just 2 large barrels, stack them on top of each other, and that's big enough to actually go up and be able to place things properly. And I tend to place stuff all around, lots of little candles and whatnot, so it looks really nice and neat. And what else is there to mention for this floor? Oh yeah, so the ceiling here is the first set that has a complete roof, that does not have the little gaps in between. And that's on purpose this time. It's not because of a glitch, because I wanted to, let's see, to get this look. So I thought it looked quite nice to have a complete roof. Also because you just need the tiles, I think, to work for the next floor to work properly. These things here are, I think, Zingarian as well. Oops, let's see. Yes, it's the Zingarian vineyard trellis pergola that I use, and I use these just to connect the roof tiles. I think that's why I use them, to be able to connect the roof here, because these triangular ones always need something to connect to the bottom, at least these triangles, and these triangles need something to connect to the top. So I use these. You could use something else as well. Anything that's an arch that helps you, or if you want to put actually proper walls in, then by all means modify it however you like. Another word about the balconies, what I would strongly suggest is, if you want to use the balconies, to put walls in first before you place the balconies, because you cannot connect ceiling tiles to the balconies. Ceiling and roof tiles, you cannot connect to them. So not to the top of them, like so. So place ceiling tiles first, and then once you have the ceiling sorted out, because you need these walls in order to just physically connect the ceiling to. Once you have the ceiling sorted out, then just replace the ceiling, the wall tiles, the second layer of wall tiles, with the balcony ones. In order also to get these connections, I will talk more about the connections in detail in the second part, but to get the connections also, keep in mind to have the spot where you look straight over the altars. That's where I like to have the connections going from. It looks nice. I mean, you could do it in any other way, I suppose, as well. But this is what I found works for me. So it's from your regular floor, add an additional of 3 square tiles, then 5 triangular tiles, and another set of 3 triangular tiles. So I have a little circle here if you choose to use the Namibian one. And that is the basis for then later connecting the bridges. So now let's have a look at the bar. The other thing also is that you could leave the ceiling tiles away here to have more opening, but I like it closed up, because if you come up, otherwise it looks too open almost. I would prefer having another tile here, but if you put another tile there, you won't be able to get up the stairs. So I kept it this way, and just to make it look a little nicer, I placed 2 fences here, and there's going to be some one of the big jars, the big green ones there, and some other stuff, or maybe I put a barrel and some shenanigans. So now you have these 2 small openings, and they are also the indicator for you where the stairs are, to find the stairs more easily. So if you look at them, the left one is downstairs, the right one is upstairs. When you go upstairs, I have 1 stair tile then 3 triangles, kind of like downstairs with the coming up to it, and then another ceiling tile. And here is where the roof starts looking cool, I think, because these tiles, as I mentioned earlier, can be inverted like this, and you have this little onion dome kind of shaped thing, kind of like the basilica in Russia. And you can do it like this. You don't need anything else here, except I found, maybe in your game it's gonna be different, I found that this particular tile, this one, did not want to connect. It wasn't because of the usual building glitch where it tells you invalid placement or something. This one simply would not attach at all. And same with the one above it, it would not connect no matter what I would do. So that's why I had to place the ceiling tile here. And just to make it even, it goes around in a half circle. Well, not entirely in a half circle, but it goes around here. So it's even when you look at it on either side of this little area. And that area is my ice house. So when you come up the stairs, you have the outer row with 1 square tile, then you have the inner row, the first inner row with 3 triangles. That's where you want to build at the end of the last triangle. You want to build the first ceiling wall tile, and then you want to go in a half circle around, and this would be the center, and there you have a wall tile as well. And you could place the door over here, I suppose, as well, but if you place it here, it looks kind of narrow and not nice. The only thing that's a bit iffy is that you have to close the door in order to get up the stairs here. Here, nothing fancy here. I just continued building walls also, where the roof is just to make it look neater and more enclosed. You don't have to have this open, you can close that up if you like. I like to keep it open, I'm not sure what I'm going to place there. And then upstairs, really just 1 stair tile to go upstairs. Place floor tiles all along. And that's it for the bar. There's nothing else here really. Again, the ceiling is open this time, so you can actually look down into the kitchens, or vice versa. And that's it. And for pardon me. Oh, I should mention that again. For the ceiling here of the kitchen ceiling is 1 row smaller than the floor. So the only 2 floors that have the same amount of ceiling rows, or floor rows if you like, is the library and the kitchen. So the library has the same amount of floor tiles as the ceiling has. The kitchen. You know what I mean. So library and kitchen have the same amount of floor tiles. Other than that, every story has 1 less roof or floor tile, depending on how you see it. Row less than the one before. So here again, 1 less just to get the roof in. And then when you go up this time, it's a little ladder to my private place. Here we are. I'm not sure if I mentioned before the ladders. They're iffy to build if you have tiles all around them, all around the hatch. What you want to do in order to get the ladder to stick to the spot where you want it to stick, especially if it's on below the hatch, you want to place ceiling tiles or foundations, whichever, all around except for on the side that you want the ladder to be. So if you're below, oh come on, open. So if you're below here, you want a wall here, you want a wall here and here, And here you want to take away this ceiling. And then you get the ladder to be there. And then once you place the ladder, you can just put the ceiling piece in as normal and remove the walls that you placed as crutches. Here now, the roof goes just as you would place a normal roof. Again, alternating. I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but you always want to either alternate or use the same roof tiles as the floor depending on which direction you build. So in this case, if the floor here is squares and the roof tiles are on top of it, so they're not pointing away from the ceiling tile, so you want the roof tile to be the same shape as the ceiling, so you want to try a rectangular one for a rectangular floor, and you want to have a triangle one for a triangle floor if they're sitting on top of the floor. If just like here, second row, triangles. However, if you look down, oh come on, be nice. There we go. If you look downstairs here, here I can't show you. I have to go to the different one. But the point is that if you are facing outwards, then you want a different set of roof tiles. So if you enclose the roof, you want the roof to be different. If you say you wanted to place a roof tile that hangs over this floor tile, then you would have to make it the shape that the next row would be. So the next row, if you would add another row of tiles to this platform of floor tiles, then the next row would be triangles. So if you wanted to have roof hanging over, then the roof would have to be triangles as well. Hope that makes sense. Now back to the ceiling on the top floor. Well, not the ceiling, the wall really. But actually, yeah, ceiling first. So you build up the roof tiles as normal. So again, triangles, and then square. Well, it's not a square, but you know what I mean. The only exception is the very center of the roof. That's all just triangular ones. Now, these I had to put in order to build the roof. It wouldn't connect otherwise, the tiles. Mostly because of the triangular ones, these ones, you have them there. That one, that needs something to connect to the bottom with, and it would not connect to that one, so I had to put in that triangle. Not because of a glitch, it's just the way it is. In my previous builds, I would close this one up completely, and I would have a brazier above, so I would have soft light coming through from above, from the brazier, to light this area up, so I didn't have to have any lights here. Plus then the light coming from the bottom of the bar shining through a little bit. That was enough. I might just do that again. I do like the openness of it though, so I might just put in some fences and keep it that way, and maybe put a hanging light up there, but we'll see. So now for this bit, how you get it that way, first of all, you need to find the side that lets you overlook the temples and the other two platforms, so the side that faces the sentinels. And then you have the outer row, the two should be, if you build it as I suggested, you should have on the outer row 2 squares, then the next row should be 2 triangles, and in between the triangle and the square of the next tile row, you want to build the doorway. And then if you look here, it's on the first row from the center of the first row. It's almost like a half circle bit. And then on the third row, after you build the 2 windows, on the next wall, you go 1 tile out, and then another tile just for a half wall to connect, and then you do the same upstairs. Well, upstairs, I say, on the upper row. Same thing. And then you just pop the roof on, as before. And that's it, and you have your neat little lookout. And if you're lucky to have the DLC, you can place that. Takes a little bit of trial and error to find the right position for that one. That one's the latest edition. Looks kind of cool. And that's it for the main tower, really. I hope I covered everything. The key parts really are to start out from your guideline with 3 triangulars that connect the right way. I mean, you can place 3 triangles either way, but the most important bit is really that you need the triangles to be flat. So you need to either, if you have a single center tile, then you need to build 3 triangles first to get these 3. Or if you have 2 squares, then you don't need to do anything. You can just connect the 3 tiles and then go from there and have the first 7 triangles and then continue on. That's the most important bit. If you don't do that, everything else will not work. So, let me see if I missed anything. I think that's pretty much it. Now, let me move on to the next tower. This one is the one with the animal pens. It's, the base is exactly the same as the main one. No differences whatsoever, except slight difference with the stairs, just to mirror the other tower. This one has the stairs going to the left instead of the right. The other one again has the stairs going to the right, but I'll come to that when I get there. And again, same thing. 1, 2, third row, or if you use as well a different tile for the last foundation rows, then it's the first row before the last foundation set, and then find the first 2 squares and build the stairs up. Other than that, except for one other thing is different here, and that's the floor. Here already I opened the floor up on the first floor, whereas here on the main one I kept the floor closed up. Here I opened it already. And then exact same thing. When it comes to the pathways to get on and off, you don't have to do it this way. What I like to do, I like symmetry. I'm a Libra, so I try to have things symmetrical as much as possible. So what I like to do is from the stairs, I use the stairs as a center point, and then I made stairs out to the left and right of it. So if you have the stairs here, set of 3 squares here, and then triangles, and that's where the stairs are, and same to the other side. Simply because that's how the pathways go also for the bridges, so it's kind of symmetrical in that sense. One other thing, if you have issues with the roof, this is why I had the roof do the roof here differently than on the main tower. I prefer the main tower one first, more. But I had issues with glitches again, and so I needed something to prop the roof tiles up on in order to get the roof to work. And that's why I have a proper roof here. Normally I wouldn't do that, I would do the exact same as over there. If you do this, then you might have to, if you don't have these picture tiles, you might have to place some sort of arch here too, which makes it a bit iffy to get in and out. But you can work around it if you have the pictish ones, because as you can see, it's not perfect, but it works. They're just wide enough apart so you can walk through them without needing any sort of other supportive structure. There are enough support for the roof tiles to be able to attach to them. If you don't have that, I'm not sure. I suppose you could put just a single stair back here if you like symmetry as well. You could just, instead of having these little outcrops, which I like for stairs, you could just remove the fence here and just put a regular stair. It's not looking as nice in my opinion, but it's a workaround. Now, upstairs. Here, second floor, or first floor I should say, is the exact same as on the other side as well. Only difference is this time I don't have stairs here, I have a ladder. And the ladder placement is on the third row. And as you can see, when you come up the stairs, it's right next to the stairs to the right. If you place the pillars the same way again, by the stairs you will have 3 triangular tiles. That's where you will place the pillar, and you place the ladder right in front of the first triangle of that set, right next to the stairs to the right side. And same thing goes again if you have issues placing the ladder. Then remove that tile there and place tiles all around. Even if it's ceiling tiles or if it's wall tiles, doesn't matter. Place tiles all around, only there. Remove that tile if you've placed it already, or leave it open, and then you can connect the ladders. Let's see, anything else from here? No, not really. So let's go upstairs. Here it's almost similar to the library and the main tower, only that this time I only have one door. It's the same principle again, so from here would be the stairs, and so you have again your 3 triangular tiles, and then at the end of that you have the door. And this time though, you have 1 square, and instead of building a ladder, you put a wall. And I like to use the arena tile set because it has sand on it, and in combination with the stable ones, if there's a sandstorm it looks like the sand's been blown in, which I think is kind of cool. So this one is my weapon display storage area. So that's why I have so many walls, so I can place the weapon displays against it. And that's why I have made a second floor also, just to have more available area to place the weapon displays. And so if you look at the center here, I think that's the easiest way to orientate yourself. If you have the triangles with the door behind you, and then this is the triangles right opposite. See? There. That's the opposite side. And from here, from the center, first row, place the first archway, and then place walls around. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 walls in a semicircle kinda, and then another archway. This one pointing inwards in between the triangles, and then another wall in between the square tiles. The stairs, I only put 2 in for symmetry reason. Again, you don't have to. If you don't want to, 1 stair would be enough. And the stairs, just put 1 wall tile to the left of the first wall here. Or if you look at the center arch, then it's 2 triangle tiles. So first, second stair. First, second stair. Up here nothing special. Just floor tiles, and I used the Namibian ones to make it look nice. Outside, I forgot if I mentioned the outside of the library. I think I might have, but just in case. Again, these pillars are just for looks to keep it symmetrical, if you like, with the other towers. You don't have to have them if you don't like to. The only thing is that I didn't place the gargoyles this time, because I wanted to make that tower stand out, especially the library. So again, same thing here, where the triangles are on the end ones, I placed the pillars. That's all, really. To go upstairs then, from the latch, or hatch, you go to the left and then around, and that's where the stairs are. Initially, I didn't have the cover for the stairs. You can do it without, I suppose. But I thought it looked quite nice, so I kept it. This time it's only one stair to get up because of the second floor, kind of. And this is where I place the animal pens. Now, this was a bit tricky. First of all, the large animal pens do not fit up here. You can get the stable on. Where's the companion? So, I tried this stable. That works. This stable works, and the small animal pens work. And these things, the new stuff, of course, because it's small. But that's it. I've not tried if you want to put Wheel of Pain in. I'm not sure if it would fit. The smaller one probably. The greater one, could fit. Could fit if it lets you build it up here. But the problem with the animal pens is that they have very, very thick foundations, and this is how much they would stick out into the floor below. Because of that, if it happens to be right where the stairs are, not these, but if it happens to be right here, because that's where they are, then you wouldn't be able to use the stairs. So for that reason, and just really to make it look more decent, I placed another set of foundation tiles here. Now, as you can see, we have 1, 2 floor tiles and then the foundation tiles. So I used one set of ceiling tiles to give more room upstairs to place these. You could probably get away without the roof tiles and just place the foundation tiles, but then you have bits and bobs stick over, like this end here. You still see it downstairs the way that I made it, because I chose to keep it open. You could also just place foundation tiles all around, I suppose. But I like to keep it this way to make it a little bit more airy and to have more space for decorations. So here you could put, I don't know, hay, or even workstations like the saddle. If you choose, I chose to do 2 animal pens. If you choose to do 1 animal pen and 1 stable, for example, then you could have your saddler's workshop here or something. So different things you can do. Now for this floor, just like with the kitchens, I chose the Zingarian vine stuffs to prop the roof up. However, you do need, for the triangle ones, you do need something to attach to the top tubes, so that's why I placed these pictish ones, because I thought the pictish design kind of matches quite well the flotsam. So I put these up and around to be able to attach the ceiling tiles, these in particular. You could do the roof much higher. You can do the roof the exact same way as this one. The only thing you have to do is use ceiling tiles. So you will have to place, for example, the rectangular tiles first, attach ceiling tiles to it, and then make a circle of ceiling tiles in order to attach everything else to it. It's very tedious, and it's a bit iffy because if you place the ceiling tiles, then also I like the openness of it, especially for the gardens. And I'm kind of contemplating maybe making 1 or 2 more layers of roof, but I'm thinking about it. I'm not sure. I tried it before, but I found it too enclosed, so I'll have a think about that. Yeah, that's it for these towers. I will make a second part in a bit to show you what the other tower is like and how to set up the altar platforms and how to connect everything with bridges. So I hope to see you in the next one. See ya!